Hey, Exotical darlings. This is Coco Exotical. Thank you for being here with me. Today, we're going to talk about how your boldness and audacity triggers their mediocrity. So let's get into it. So let me tell you something that people will never admit out loud. Your boldness isn't the problem. Their cowardice is, right? When you started living unapologetically, when you quit the soul-sucking job, when you moved out of your hometown, when you launched the business, posted the bikini pic, set the boundary, asked for the raise, left the bad relationship, something shifted, right? And all of a sudden, the people who swore that they had your back started acting different, right? The support got quiet. The text got passive aggressive. The "I'm concerned about you" comments started rolling in, right? But let me tell you something. They're not actually worried. They're triggered, right? Your audacity, your willingness to live outside the box, it feels like a personal attack on their entire existence. You're a walking, breathing reminder of everything that they themselves are too afraid to do. This is what's called social comparison theory, right? When people see someone in their peer group, their friend, their sibling, their coworker making a bold move, their brain automatically starts making comparisons, right? So if they've been playing it safe, staying small, accepting scraps and crumbs in life, then your audacity, your courage, your boldness reflects their own cowardice. You didn't do anything to them, but your mere existence, your willingness to take chances and to bet on yourself, forces them to confront the fact that they haven't, right? Your boldness makes them realize that the excuses that they've been recycling for years are simply that, excuses. The so-called realistic path that they chose might actually be the safe path and the scared path, right? And instead of using that discomfort as fuel to change their own lives, they choose to project it onto you. A lot of these people have invested years, sometimes decades, into a life that they don't actually want, right? The stable but boring job, the relationship that's just okay, the version of themselves that's palatable and small and non-threatening, right? So when you show up taking risks and living boldly, it threatens the story that they've been telling themselves for years. Oh, this is just how life is. Everyone settles, everyone compromises, everyone plays it safe. And your audacity says to them, no, they don't. They take the bull by the horns and they take control of their own lives, right? So that's terrifying to people who've spent years justifying their own unfulfilled lives, right? Because if you can do it, if you can walk away, if you can start over, if you can take the risk, if you can demand more out of life, then what's their excuse, right? The truth is that they don't have an excuse, or they don't have a good excuse, and they hate you for exposing that, especially if other friends and family members see you taking chances and elevating yourself. Yet they keep on complaining about the same old problems but doing nothing to try to change their own circumstances, right? A lot of people are only comfortable if your growth matches their own. If you're all struggling together, then there's solidarity. If you're all stuck together, then there's comfort in the collective misery. They can look around and say, well, at least we're all in the same boat, right? But the second you level up, the second you get tired of your own BS and outgrow the complaining, the settling, the small-minded thinking, you become a threat to the group identity, right? They liked you better when you were struggling, when you needed their advice, when you were on their level. Your success, your audacity, your boldness sets you apart. And instead of celebrating you, they want to punish you for leaving, right? For example, say you've been overweight for years, and then you finally decide that you're going to get disciplined and put in the work to lose the weight. After 6 months, you lose 30 pounds, and all of a sudden, everyone's uncomfortable. Everyone's upset, right? Translation, your transformation makes me uncomfortable because it highlights my own stagnation. You didn't owe anyone your old body. You didn't owe anyone an explanation for making changes to your own life. Your audacity to transform your body after years of being overweight triggered everyone who chose to stay complacent and who remained in bodies that they were unhappy and uncomfortable with because for years they decided to choose comfort over change, right? Or maybe you started a business or a YouTube channel and it's making you enough money that you can now quit your 9 to 5 and go full time with your business or your channel. Now you have friends or family members who are making passive aggressive comments about your quote unquote risky career choices or who are jokingly asking you when you're going to get a quote unquote real job, right? Your boldness and your success shines a light on their own choices and they didn't sign up to be judged, right? Except you were never judging them, right? You were simply living your life the way that you see fit. But to someone who's drowning in regret about playing life too safe and boring, to someone who regrets not going after their own dreams, your freedom feels like a personal attack. So how do you protect your peace when other people's insecurities are trying to sabotage your own path? You got to detach from it, right? You got to recognize what's happening. When someone's concerned, trolling you, or keeps on moving the goalposts, or all of a sudden gets weird about your success, you have to remind yourself, this is about them, not me. You don't need to argue with them. You don't need to defend yourself or your decisions. You don't need to shrink yourself down. You simply detach and remain unbothered, right? Their discomfort is not your responsibility to manage. Stop explaining yourself to people. People who are triggered by your boldness are not looking for understanding. They're looking for ammunition. They're looking for something to hold over your head. The more you explain and the more you justify, the more you give them material to try to tear you down, right? Your decisions don't need a defense. This is my decision and this is what's right for me in my life is a complete sentence, period. Surround yourself with people who are also bold and who also have audacity because they're going to understand your vision as well. Small-minded people don't know how to think outside of the box, so they end up staying small and resenting you for your growth. People who are bold tend to be more successful because they're not afraid to stand up for themselves and take chances in life. So keep on making bold moves. Keep living unapologetically. Keep on choosing the path that scares you but ultimately fulfills you, right? Other people's comfort is not your responsibility. You're not required to stay small so that other people can feel comfortable about their own lives. Your boldness, your audacity, your refusal to settle for less is self-respect. It's self-love. It's courage. And if that makes somebody else uncomfortable, then that's their problem, not yours. So tell me about it. What's the boldest move that you've made that's triggered the small-minded people around you? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.